Welcome to our noon huddle, you guys. So excited to be with you in the very smack dab in the middle of June. So many fun things happening. But today we have a special guest speaker. She's one of our area managers on our team, Raina Marino, and lots of you probably follow her on Instagram. She's so much fun to follow. She does lots of great things on social media. But I heard her share a quick video, like she went on video and shared a quick little few tips within her regional vice president's chat group the other day. And I sent her a quick message and I said, hey, I'm not sure if you'd be willing to share some of those tips on our huddle on Monday, but it sure would come in handy. And so she's gonna share, asked her if she'd also share her story, how she got started. And I think you're celebrating your anniversary, is that right?
Yes, I am.
So happy anniversary with Arbonne. That is awesome. And so Raina, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you so we can hear all you have to share with us.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm a little nervous just because I just got out of work on my lunch break. So just so you guys know, I began Arbonne. It was kind of definitely not something I planned to do. I actually was in a place in my life where it was kind of like, I knew I needed to do something, and so I was just kind of scrolling on my Facebook, and I saw that my sponsor, Allie, had posted her results of losing 22 pounds in a month. And I was like, whoa, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's healthy, if it's going to kill me the next 5 days, but I need to do it. And so I reached out to her. We got me started on the 30, and I had great results. And so then I had a ton of people asking me what I was doing, and I was leading them all, referring them to her, and she was like, hey, like, don't you want to look into maybe being a consultant, like this, you can do this and that? And I was like, you know what, no, I'm like way too busy. I already work full time and I have a photography business aside from that keeps me super busy, but thank you. And she reached out to me again. She was like, look, like, this is how much you could have made already had you, made the orders yourself. And I was like, wait, talk to me about it a little bit more. What is it? And so she told me, I got myself signed up, and it was the best decision I could have made, because ever since then, not only just as the business portion of it, making an extra income and being able to work less of my photography business, but just the self-growth that I've gained from being in the business has been absolutely worth everything. It's been just, honestly, if it was the only reason why I would stay in Arbonne, it's because of that. So I became a district manager within a month and a half, and then I became an area within 5 months. And I did the absolute worst thing, you guys. I became inconsistent in my business because I got comfortable. I was like, hey, this is nice, this extra income, like everybody else is doing the work, like I'm good. Well, that's where I did the worst thing for my business, just because at that point, everything just kind of was either at a standstill or just on a downhill slope. And I knew that it was because of me. I stopped working my business, so my business stopped working for me. So I knew that I had to do something. And then the new year came around, and I was still kind of like here and there. But then I got back and we went to GTC, and GTC did so many different things for me. It just sparked my fire in so many different ways. Like I came back a whole different person regarding my business. So then this is when I knew, like, okay, I need to start being a better leader. First of all, I need to lead from the front, and I need to be consistent with my business as far as just an aspect of everything. So the social media thing is what got me where I was at. So I knew that it's my strong suit, but so that's why I'm here to talk to you guys, that even though I was strong with my social media and I never stopped posting, I still knew that, like, I could do more. So I'm here to tell you guys that if you guys are posting on social media, that you guys need to be consistent, because people are watching. You have already planted a seed. The only thing is that if you don't continue to water that seed is going to dry out. Or what can also happen is that seed that was already planted could be watered by somebody else because you stopped watering your seed. So if you're not posting at least once a day, and I'm not saying, throw up Arbonne on your social media. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to be genuine about your posts. So if you are posting about the 30-day and you're being, you're glorifying this 30-day and talking and talking and talking about it, that's awesome. But where are your results? And where are your daily posts about what, not just, screenshots of or flyers that you're putting up? They need to see that you are being the product of the product. Are you doing your shakes daily? Are you using the makeup? Are you using the skincare? They need to see you doing this, because if you keep talking and talking about this product, but they never see you actually being a product of the product, those people are just going to immediately just clock out of it. They're not going to be interested anymore because they don't see you actually using this stuff. And it's super important that when you do post, it's genuine and it's coming from in here. Because if you're just saying things because someone else posted it, these people are going to know. They follow you, and they follow you for a reason. Another thing is, don't feel that if you're posting too much, it's gonna, turn people off. If you're turning people off, then they can go ahead and unfollow you, because it's not gonna be, those people obviously didn't benefit you in any way. They're not gonna purchase from you, and they're not gonna support you as a person in your business. So what's the point of them liking you anyway? So don't feel like you need to stop posting because you don't want to turn people off or annoy people with your posts, because this is your business. Who cares what people are thinking? Because at the end of the day, these people are not paying your bills and they're not there to support you anyway. So just stop thinking about what other people are thinking, because honestly it just doesn't matter. And that's one thing that I have gained from this, especially because I know for sure at the beginning of the business, I definitely was embarrassed to either post here or post there, because I didn't want to be one of those girls. And I know that you guys probably already heard this over and over from almost every consultant, but it is so true that once you just let go of those fears, like you put that wall down of what people are going to think, you just go straight through, and at some point you're going to reach that goal that you've been wanting to reach. I'll tell you guys, I stopped, I became inconsistent, and I wasn't reaching area numbers, and it was really starting to get to me. But what was I doing about it? Nothing. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't reaching out to my people. I wasn't encouraging them to work harder. I was trying to post a little more, but you can't do this by yourself. It has to be a team effort. So you have to lead from the front. If you're not posting, your people are not going to post. I'll tell you that. If you're not, you have to give them something to motivate them to want to do the same, because, well, she's been successful with her business, so this is what I have to do. So I just tell you guys have to stop worrying about what other people think, and especially in this business. You have to be proud, and you have to have this passion for this business, because if you don't, you're not going to thrive. Your business is definitely not going to thrive. So I can't say it enough, let go of those fears and just work your business how you want. And I guarantee that you're going to reach those goals that you've been wanting and you put forth for yourself. Because right now I gained just 5 girls in the last 2 weeks, and it's because they see this passion within me. And if they didn't see it, and they've all said it, like, they've been following me for a while, but it's just in the last month that they've seen something different and they wanted to be a part of it. And I have to be able to show them that, yeah, like this business is awesome. Like, and I know that, but I need to show it, because they don't know that if I'm not saying it, or, just, I don't know if I'm making sense here, but I hope that you guys just, oh gosh, can you guys still see me? See, this is what happens when you work your business from anywhere. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Hey, Raina, that was awesome. I have a couple of questions for you, because and you did awesome. I can't even tell you're nervous. You did awesome. It's because you're so good at going live and sharing on Instagram all the time and sharing. One of the things that I know we hear a lot of, because I know you're busy, you have kids, you work a full-time job, photography business and Arbonne business, but a lot of times I hear, I don't have time to post. What would you say to that?
You guys, Oh my gosh, that's probably the best question for me because there's times where I'm running to the restroom because I'm thinking about something and I'm just like posting really fast because I know that it's worth it to put that small post just really quickly because at the end of the day you might have someone that, because of that one small post, you have a number of people asking you questions, and it's because you it just came from within you at that moment. So when you think about it, just go for it and post it. Don't think twice about what people are going to think because it honestly, man, like I can't even tell you guys the amount of times where I could have probably, I don't know, at this moment right now, I'm on my lunchtime, but if you would have asked me to do it at 2 p.m., I would have said, I'll be back in an hour. I would have found the time because I know that this is going to help me in one way or another. Even just sitting here talking to you guys, I'm speaking to you because it's what I feel, but it's also reminding me and it's keeping me accountable because I'm saying this to you guys, so I need to make sure that I do what I say what I'm going to do or is helping me. Does that make sense?
100%. I always say that leadership is one of the greatest accountability partners you can have, because if you're wanting to grow as a leader, then you're going to want to be accountable to the things that we teach and train, because we want to be a leader that leads by example. Well, that was awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Raina?
Come on, guys, don't be shy, because I know that I'll listen to these and sometimes I'm like, dang it, I should have asked.
Maybe she can talk to us a little bit about going live, because she's really good at doing that. And I don't know if I don't know, Raina, if you just come up with something all of a sudden, or if you plan it out a little bit, but your lives are really good, or if you're videoing something and then posting it.
Right. So do you prefer live, or do you prefer doing the little short 15-second videos?
Honestly, the live is almost always better just because it comes from you at that moment, as opposed to it being planned. Because like yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw the mini video that I posted of me putting on my makeup. I don't know how many times I had to take off my makeup and put it back on, just because like I was like, that didn't work for me. I should have just done it live, and it is what it is. It goes up on that moment. And I feel like when you plan it out, everything that you really want to say doesn't actually come out because you've just like planned it out. And when you're speaking in the moment, it's all just, it's within you, it's coming out, and it's just, and that's why those lives are so important, so people can see something genuine and it's not scripted, because they need to see it within you. You guys, I'll tell you guys, my very weakest suit was getting that belly to belly, like in person party thing was just like, no, I can't do that. Like, I just don't want to do that. But now, like, the girls tell me, like, okay, I want to launch me. And I'm like, yes, I can't wait, because those parties, like, they see it. They can feel that, like, it's just in me. Like, I am so passionate about this business that when I talk about it, like, they know it. And it's so different when you get that belly to belly experience, because, when they see it online or just whatever, like I said, the scripted, planned videos, things, they're not the same as getting in front of somebody. So that's another thing, is that you should definitely make sure that you're getting that belly to belly experience, because you won't be able to reach other networks that are out there, because of your stories and your social media business. It's going to be the same people recycling over and over and over. And you may have got a person that you didn't get interested a year ago that is now interested today, and now I'm noticing that a lot of people that are liking my page are already consultants. So it's like I can't really reach out to them either for the product or the business. So I have to get in front of people, and I have to get in front of other networks, because my business is not going to thrive.
I agree, Raina. And you know what's crazy is, if you guys look at how many people watch your stories versus how many people follow you, it's probably about 10 to 20% actually watch our stories. So what about the other 80 to 90% that aren't watching our stories? And so it's so important to keep and have that reach out. You guys, as a matter of fact, what I've been doing lately with new folks is challenging folks to come up with their 100% contact list by not using Instagram or Facebook people. Like, come up with a contact list of the people that you know, out of state, out of town, out of country, because guys, we didn't have this resource with social media to help find people. So what it does is it just supercharges your contacts, because oftentimes we forget about the people that we know out and about that are acquaintances. We forget about talking to the person who does our hair. We forget about talking to the person who checks us out at Trader Joe's all the time that we have that great conversation with. We forget about those people. So I would encourage you guys, if you have not made a 100-person contact list, and I'm not saying don't use, the followers that you have, but start with what you can come up with and the resources that you have, the people that you know through people. Because oftentimes what people do is they go down Instagram, I reached out to all 500 people, Beth, what do I do now? And I'm like, oh shoot, did you really reach out to all 500 is the first thing that I think of, because when you make a 100-person contact list, if you work that list right, you might not even go through all 100 to get your business off to a start and engaging further out. So when you're thinking about those people to have those belly-to-belly moments with is, who do you know through people, and through those people, like, none of the people in my initial warm market wanted to have anything to do with Arbonne, but I sure as heck knew people through them, and people through them, and people through them. And so I made a very comprehensive list of people through people, through people, through people who might not be following me, guys, today. If I were starting today, they might not be following me on Instagram. They might not be my friends on Facebook. And so this gives us the opportunity to reach out and have an even bigger reach. And oh my gosh, Cassidy, I just can barely talk seeing Asher right there. He's just so stinking cute. See my little grandbaby, you guys? Oh, he's so cute. Sorry, my eyes just go straight to him. But thank you so much, Raina. That was awesome. Guys, does anybody we have enough? Okay, Cassidy, go for it.
I have a question. Raina, so after you go live, what do you do to the people that have watched something? Like, do you message them, or I just feel like whenever I go live, I never know what to do after, and I'm just like, okay, they watched it, but I don't have I don't know, how does it help you? What do you do after?
Honestly, after I go live and I do see that, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know if it should be what I do, but I kind of go through and I look to see who I feel could be a business builder, and those are the people I feel more prone to message and be like, hey girl, I saw that you saw my live, what did you think? And then then I'll have those that, but then honestly most of the time it's people reaching out to me, because I don't know, I tell you, you just have to be super passionate about this business, because and then also too, another thing, not just because of the lives, but I wanted to just kind of explain this little story, because I was at the grocery store and I was buying all my stuff for my 30-day, and then the girl next to me was buying stuff. She looked like she was buying stuff for, also something to do healthy. And I asked her hey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm just trying to eat healthier. And so I was like, have you ever heard of Arbonne? So it was at that moment, we were both waiting to pay, and she was so interested in what I was saying, and I told her, and then I showed her my results, and she was like, do you have a business card? And I was like, I don't, but here, let me get your phone. I grabbed her phone. She let me grab her phone, and I, got my Instagram, and I was like, look, here's my Instagram. If you have any questions, I made sure that I liked myself so that I can reach out back to her. So it's you just have to make sure that you have to not be embarrassed ever to make those either message or comments in person, because when the lives do happen and I have those people that are constantly always watching, those are the ones that I usually reach out to. If it's someone that's saw them kind of, and then they just, because you can even sometimes see when they log out of your stuff, you can see that they watched it for however long and then they logged out. So those people, I'm like, okay, whatever. But if they watched it all the way through, I make sure that I try to reach out and message. And I noticed too that the other day that Whitney was talking about how, for those of you that haven't been doing the business for very long, when you tell them look into this business that I just involved myself into that says or my health and wellness business that I know is going to be changing my life, like it's made a difference to some of the girls on my team, because sometimes they don't know how to reach out because they don't have enough going on their Instagram to show that they're part of the business. And so then they say, like, here's my sponsor, like, look at how, just like to make sure that they're keeping themselves accountable too, that you always want to make sure that even if you are just starting in the business, you need to make sure that you're still just as passionate about it, because you know what it can do for you in the future. You know what it can do for you moving forward. So have that mentality of like, it's already doing this for you when you speak to people, because then they will see it like, okay, like, what is she talking about? Then they'll, maybe, okay, well, so also another thing, do your video, make sure that you have your video so that you can send it to them, because this is another thing that's going to be able for them to be able to see your genuine passion for this business.
I agree.
I feel like I said a bunch of stuff, but I hope all of that made sense.
No, it's good. I picked tons of notes. Tons of notes. You said a lot of B's. Let me see, where is it? Be consistent. Be a product of the product. Be genuine. Be passionate. I always like to catch little things like that and I hear people share that. No, it's so good. And for all the folks that are new or maybe new to utilizing this, one of the things that I know helped me grow very quickly early on in my business and is like what Raina shared and so many of us have shared and you've heard us share over and over again, is being vulnerable and being willing to fall down and look silly. I remember it's been almost 2 years ago that I went live on Facebook and shared my story about my anxiety and adrenal fatigue I went through 7 years ago. It was life crippling. It was horrible. It was something I never wanted to talk about, but I kept feeling on my heart that God wanted me to do that. And I put it off and put it off and put it off. And I'm like, cause I was a little nervous about being vulnerable in a big capacity like that. And, I think that it's just making sure, like what I like to do is I might like to have like a few key things I want to make sure I even remember, but I never look at that piece of paper. So just know that if you're brand new, you just found a vehicle, whatever your why is, it's going to help you. Maybe you want to pay off your school loan. Maybe you want to be home with your kids, whatever it is. You just found a vehicle that's going to help you do that. Whether you believe that right now or not, that's going to grow. But you found a vehicle because it's doing it for a ton of other people. You're plugged into a team that is in growth mode, and you are on a call right now. If you're watching, there are at least 6 of us on here that are driving the white Mercedes. So you can share, I have this vehicle that's going to enable me to be at home with my kids and give me the freedom of choice that I want. And I'm plugged into a team that is handing out white Mercedes this year and every year after that. And I'm going with these folks. Guys, just know that that's just affirming what you're doing. And those are the types of things that was taught to me when I started. And my belief in myself, in the product, not the product, but my belief in myself, the business and network marketing was so low that the more I was around the people who were succeeding and the more I started to affirm myself, who I was plugged in and connected to, people were attracted and drawn to me. And you guys, it's just what it takes. You can have, just like Raina had a little 3-minute probably conversation with this gal at the grocery store, but when people know you care, they listen. When people know you care, they'll join you. When people know you care, guys, they'll do life with you. And it's crazy how fast it can happen. So be on the lookout, guys. Put your big vision goggles on. Know that there are people everywhere around you. And the other thing is too, is because of how we are on the outside, like whenever I meet someone new, I ask if they're on Instagram. I follow them, they follow me. So is my personality on the outside reflective of my personality on social media? Am I negative? Am I positive? What are those things that I'm looking to attract? So you want to be like, when she mentioned be genuine, we want to be people of integrity and not be some fake person on social media and some crazy rank negative person out in the real world. So we want to reflect that all around. And that's why it just is so helpful, guys. As your VPs, we're going through a book club, reading this book called Leadership by John C. Maxwell. And he talks about our chapter this week was about having being our goal to grow, and not having like a monetary goal or a number goal, but to be in growth mode. And you guys are already there. So Raina, thank you so much. That was awesome. And you know what? All I saw as you were talking was an ENVP. So I am so proud of you and just stoked for all the growth that's happening to you and in your business. But thank you for being vulnerable enough to share, even when you stepped away and shared that, because we've all been there, we've all done that, and it's part of our journey. So I love you, friend, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day. You guys, this is
gosh. You're so welcome. Also, another thing that I wanted to say is that if you ever have those moments where you just feel like, gosh, I just can't do Arbonne, it's just too much, like, you guys, follow people who are above you that inspire you, so that when they post something, you're like, you know what, like, I still want that. I need to get like back into this. You guys need to have something to continue to inspire you, because I know I've had those moments, and I know that it kind of makes me cringe at the thought that I could be a regional vice president right now had I worked my business the way I was supposed to the moment I became an area manager. But now I had to start from scratch because I got comfortable and I just stopped working my business. So don't stop. Keep the consistency. Consistency is so important. So just continue doing what you're doing. I know there's new girls on the call right now. Like Alyssa, girl, you work your butt off. Area manager is here. Now keep going, because you cannot stop what you're doing, because and I know it once those numbers start hitting, you're like, oh, cool. No, keep working your business, because you'll be a regional vice president super soon. Keep going, girl. And then I also saw, I think Kennedy's on, who's brand new. You're on a call. Like, you're already doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're plugging in. Keep plugged in always. I know that there's a ton of us that have been doing this for years and years and years, and we're still here paying attention to the new stuff that comes out. And it's just so important to just continue to keep plugged in. Gosh, I can go on forever, but definitely I'm so glad that you asked me, Beth, to do this. And I hope everyone has an amazing week.
Awesome. Thank you, Raina. Guys, just remember, we have 2 weeks left in the month, so much time to reach our goals and achieve all that we have out in front of us, because we all know it's the last 2 weeks of the month that pulls out the biggest charge. So I love you all, and you guys make it a great week, and we will chat soon. Thank you again, Raina. Have a great day.
Welcome. Bye, everybody.